Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to In the Morning Forecast here by Age of Weather Forecast. So this is going to be another update on the potential for a severe weather outbreak today. Looks like we have a lot bigger of a threat for tornadoes today compared to yesterday, and it seems like very soon we'll have a level 3 enhanced risk be issued in the next SPC update. So be sure to stay tuned for the whole video so you know when the timing of severe weather, the worst of severe weather will come, the timing, where it'll impact, and all the new updates on CAPE and all of those new information here. If you are new to the channel, be sure to hit the subscribe button though. Thank you guys so much for 2,290 subscribers. We are 7 away from 2,300, so please hit the subscribe button. Please share the video, especially to anybody that you know that lives in the areas that can get impacted really hard today, because we can definitely have large hail, damaging winds, and tornadoes throughout the day throughout many populated areas. So if you know anybody that's not prepared for the severe weather or has no idea about the severe weather, please share the video or channel. And if you have any questions below, leave them in the comments and I will answer them. But now let's get into this major severe weather outbreak video. So people thought yesterday was actually a lot worse. I think today's actually, or really tonight, or today, throughout today, really is going to be the worst compared to yesterday. So this is my new map here that I made just a couple of minutes ago. I just finished it here. So this is where I think we'll have an enhanced risk now. So I think we can actually have this enhanced risk all the way throughout parts of far western Indiana into eastern Kansas. I have looked at the new updates on the HRRR and the M3KM models, and I really think that definitely Kansas can be issued or extended into this enhanced risk. So this is where I think the enhanced risk would be issued. As you can tell, we have major cities like Kansas City, St. Louis, Quincy, Bloomington, areas like Springfield, Peoria, even on far western Indiana. I think this is definitely going to be seeing the best probability for tornadoes if they do issue a 10% chance, which is really to the 60% chance to add one, but definitely see a really big hail threat and also really tornado or hail and winds. But definitely maybe the tornado threat for 10% chance might actually be a bit higher than 60% chance. But if you know anybody in these areas in the orange, please tell them to get ready for some strong severe weather in these areas. So this is basically the enhanced risk if it does happen, in my opinion, all the way to Indiana to Kansas. That's a huge, huge area and widespread with populated areas. Now in the slight risk. So even if you're in the slight risk and you're not in the highest risk, which will be an enhanced risk, that you can't rule out the possibility for tornadoes and large hail and really strong severe weather bands. This will be stretching all the way from parts of even parts of all the way into near the Cleveland area, all the way to Wichita and near Tulsa. So this is a very, very widespread threat, all the way from Oklahoma to Ohio. It's a very, very big and very widespread severe weather threat. So even if you're in the slight risk, which is our highest risk as of right now, so that's still a really decent chance we're seeing some severe weather. Definitely be seeing some strong pop-up bands, especially with the incoming cold front. This is where we have our best chance for seeing major squall lines in these areas. And then if you're in the dark green, the marginal, you could definitely be seeing some possibly small, but some severe bands, but they have the smallest probability of causing tornadoes, large hail, and large hail and damaging winds. You can possibly maybe see pea-sized hail, but really it won't be anything major. So just, you guys will be seeing some scattered showers and maybe some scattered small bands, but nothing major. So now let's go ahead and take a look at the models. So here's the National Weather Service. Let me go ahead and refresh this really quickly. So we already have flash flood watches across parts of the Ozark Mountains and parts of the general Ozarks here. This is where we have this flash flood watches. That's where we're definitely be seeing that probability. Really, these areas in the flash flood watches are where we can possibly have an enhanced risk. So it seems like we definitely are going to be seeing really heavy rain and frequent rain throughout today, which is exactly why we have this flash flood watch. Especially, we're going to be seeing a lot more throughout the Mississippi River there. We do have these flash flood watches for Jefferson City, Joplin, I believe Kansas City, Wichita. You guys are I believe you guys Wichita is under that flash flood watch. Throughout much of southeastern Kansas, much of Missouri, and parts of far western Illinois. There, this is also where we can have enhanced risk, like areas near Quincy, of course. And of course, maybe even Springfield. But we're going to be seeing a lot of severe thunderstorm warnings, severe thunderstorm watches, even tornado watches to be issued throughout these areas for sure. This is basically our area of focus right now. This is basically where we're going to be focusing. Even just outside of these areas, we can definitely have a risk as well. So gotta be watching out Like, you may not be in enhanced risk, but you can't rule out the possibility for tornadoes or anything really like that. So let me go ahead and check out the radar really quick, see if we have any pop-up bands as of right now. I believe we do have some pop-up strong bands. Yep, here I was right. So we do actually have some pop-up bands. These are the first waves right now. As you can tell here, this very large band of severe weather. This is actually not the one that's going to be extremely severe. We're going to have one that's going to pop up later in the afternoon. A huge squall line though that's going to bring extremely strong severe weather for Chicago in the coming minutes. That's going to be heading towards Washington, Peoria, also affecting Quincy. And we also have very strong but smaller severe weather bands throughout areas near Lansing, Muskegon, Big Rapids. Even some strong bands as well to the southeast of Indianapolis. So we do have very widespread severe weather. We do have a lot of energy in the atmosphere. So definitely going to be seeing a lot of pop-up bands like we've been seeing the past couple of weeks in the south central or general southeast. So like I said, we only have a slight risk right now, but that'll change very soon. The next update, I believe, that's at 11, I think. So this is where we have a slight risk. So as you see, it's not completely different to mine. I obviously did change a little bit to moving a bit more to the south and to the west. So this is where we have our best chances of right now. But of course, we could also have that enhanced risk for these areas right here. Or more like right here. It's possibly where we have our enhanced risk. Will probably be most likely right here. Maybe a bit more to Indiana. But if you're in the slight risk, you still have, as of right now, you have the highest risk. So still keep that in mind. That's going to be through all the way to Oklahoma to Ohio, and that yellow. So if you know anybody in the yellow, please tell them that they could possibly see some really strong severe weather throughout the day today. And even if they get added to the enhanced risk, they definitely need to have a plan just in case if they have any tornadoes or anything like that. Tornado threats at a 5% chance, which is actually now still worse than or bigger than yesterday when it went down to a 2% chance. Would not doubt if we have a 10% chance, of course, being added where you have that maybe enhanced risk. If we do have a 10% chance, I think the best probability will be right here if we do have a 10% chance. Obviously, I think the probability for hail will extend a bit more. That's why we have that enhanced risk throughout parts of Indiana. But here we have that 5% chance for tornadoes throughout areas in Kansas and Indiana. That's actually, I know it only says 5% chance, but it could definitely, that a 5% chance, in other words, like maybe a 20% chance for tornadoes. So it's not just like a 5 out of 100. It's actually a very good chance for tornadoes because we have multiple tornadoes and severe weather outbreaks that are just in the 2% chance. And we even have tornadoes in areas that aren't even in a possibility or in a probability. So still keep that in mind. I think the hail threat can definitely go up to a 30% chance for later in the next update. That's exactly why I think that enhanced risk can go all the way to Indiana. But here we have our highest for hail right now at a 15% chance. Could definitely be seeing possibly quarter-sized hail, maybe maximum baseball-sized hail, but don't think we'll get to that extent really. But I would not doubt if we see maybe some baseball-sized hail in Kansas, Missouri, parts of Illinois. And then the wind threat to 50% chance. I think this could also maybe go to the 30% chance right now. I mean, I feel like the best thing the only thing that I think has the best chance of staying wherever it is right now is the wind. But of course, I really think there's a possibility we can add the 30% chance. Now, if we look at the new NAM3KM model here, like we saw in the National Weather Service radar, here we are seeing multiple bands as of right now, major and multiple pop-up bands throughout areas of the Ohio Valley, throughout the Midwest. So this is not the big severe weather bands we're looking at for today. As we now move later into the afternoon, we have some really strong bands that are going to develop right here. We have more strong linear bands that will be heading towards the east. It's in Indianapolis. This is the big severe weather maker right here. This is where we're going to be seeing these major bands, multiple supercells throughout Kansas, Illinois. Look at these major supercells, though, throughout parts of north central Illinois. We're going to be seeing multiple hail reports and wind reports, and it looks like we can be seeing very large squall lines from Missouri to Indiana. These are going to be squall lines because we do have the incoming cold front here, or it's already here. And then if we have all this moisture and humidity, that's perfect for having a severe weather outbreak right here. This is going to be extending all the way to Indiana to Kansas, but it looks like the worst of it will actually be throughout parts of near Iowa, northern Missouri, and parts of near Chicago. And this thing will actually get a lot worse, though, as we now get into tomorrow morning. We have a major squall line that's going to be massive. That's going to be heading towards just south of the Kansas City area, heading towards Wichita, heading towards Quincy. It's going to be heading towards St. Louis, and then we have this severe weather will start to die down, or it will still be very severe, but it will kind of fall apart as it gets into more into more into Michigan, and then we have this band that moves to the south. So this is exactly why we have the possibility for severe weather now, more into Missouri and southern or eastern Kansas. Definitely be seeing some strong severe weather for Kansas, and then actually goes all the way to Oklahoma. And it's going to go all the way to Oklahoma by Friday. So this would be more of a Friday threat. So this is going to be as it gets into Oklahoma and Arkansas, this actually won't be necessarily the threat for today, but more into actually Friday. As we now look into the pivotal weather, here we do have, of course, these bands that we saw on the radar, these scattered severe weather bands there throughout the Midwest. And as we get later into the afternoon or the evening, these bands these things just blow up out of nowhere, or not out of nowhere, but the things just blow up into northern Illinois, parts of Iowa, Missouri, Kansas, and they go straight over parts of Michigan to Kansas. Going to be seeing major squall lines, QLCSs, and then of course it does go down to the south, and then we have this major potential subtropical storm Arthur, which I'll be talking about later on in the day. If we look at Cape values, here you see we don't have really any high Cape values. They have gone down since we've gone to the morning because of course we haven't gone over the heating. But as we now as we continue on to in the coming hours, we're gonna have a huge amount of energy right here that's gonna be blowing up in Texas, and as you see, there it is. Gonna be seeing up to some high 3,000 joules per kilogram. Right here, we are gonna be seeing a potential for severe weather and very low cap. Very low cap. So really, it looks like the best chance for tornadoes will be more to the Midwest, but we could possibly see some really strong severe weather throughout Oklahoma in the coming hours. But of course, as we now get later into the evening, here we see these numbers actually go up a lot more. Going to be seeing, I know these aren't extremely high, but these are some 3,000, 2,000. Once it's above 1,500 joules per kilogram, that's when it's considered a good number for severe weather to form. As you see, we have a tornado hazard and cap extremely low. We won't see things cap out till later into Friday. But look at these extremely high numbers throughout Kansas, though. We're going to be seeing up to possibly some 4,000s, getting close to 5,000. Very weak cap, up to 4,800 joules per kilogram, and a tornado threat throughout Kansas. And these numbers do die down a little bit, but of course, we still have that little peak in numbers. Supercell composite parameter. This is going to measure not the probability, but the likelihood of actually seeing supercells. Here we do have some very small number, single digits to 7. That's not extremely high necessarily. The highest numbers will be near Oklahoma, where we have some 20s, which is actually considered high. We have very weak cap and a tornado hazard, and then things do die down later on. So really not going to see huge supercell throughout areas into the south central necessarily today, but definitely potential for some decent sized squall lines here. I hope you guys did enjoy the video. We can also maybe have some derechos as well. If that's how people say derechos. Some people say derechos. I say derechos, but definitely looks like we have derechos or derechos as well later today with some really strong wind gusts in these systems, and definitely be seeing wall and cumulus clouds, wall clouds as well. But yeah, hope you guys did enjoy the video. Please do not forget to like and subscribe. If I do, most likely I'll have a video later in the evening, but in the evening I'm actually graduating from 8th grade, so I'll have to see what I can do. But I'm definitely gonna have a tropical update. I really do want to have an update on the severe weather in the evening, but it'll definitely be like really late, like at 8 o'clock. And I do apologize, but I am officially graduating from 8th grade today, so really after tomorrow I'll be considered going into 9th grade. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please do not forget to like and subscribe, hit the like button and share the video, and if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below.